Hello, just Gem here and welcome, or indeed welcome back to my channel. I feel like I don't shut up about this, but I did go on holiday and I did go to America, and I took the opportunity to pick up some products from indie brands, US based indie brands, and sort of US companies in general, really. I mentioned this in one of my videos. In fact, I think I've mentioned this in several of my videos, and I said, would you like to see a US haul? And people said yes. So here it is. Now I've got everything in front of me. It seems rather excessive, but this is not a common occurrence. I just took advantage of the fact that I was in the States. I could pick up some brands that aren't easily accessible to us in the UK, at least not for quite a reasonable markup, and I've got it in front of me and I'm gonna walk through it all. And there's also some bits that I picked up from Sephora, because what trip to the US is complete without a trip to Sephora? And I know what you're saying, don't you Brits have Sephora now? Yes we do, but we don't quite have everything. Especially there's one thing here that I picked up that we definitely don't have access to, and I'll get to that. So that's my mini Sephora haul, which I'll do at the end. Where do I start? Let's start with Colourpop, because this is the very first order I placed, and this is all the way back to Black Friday. And I'm just going to lift them up here. Let's try and grab them. I basically grabbed every single liner that they had, and you might be gasping and thinking, gosh Gem, that's excessive. What were you thinking? I was thinking they were $2 each. So it was cheaper to buy them individually like this than it was to get the set that they sell. So I sat there and added each individual shade to my basket, terrified that everybody else would be doing the same thing because $2 each. And I thought that maybe they would sell out, but I managed to successfully add, I want to say it's 25 different shades here to my basket, and here they all are. So I think that's, if it's 20, I mean it was $50. What's that in quid? I paid 40 quid for all of these. I think that's a pretty good deal. And I'm not going to open them all up. Like I know there's like 2 gold shades. I'll be sensible with it, because when it comes to eye products, I don't want them to linger. I don't want to like be using them for an excessive amount of time. But $2 each was just too good to not go for it. Let's face it, I'm not taking each one out of the box and swatching them. I will be here all night, and I do want to go to bed at some point. What's Up Beauty had this ridiculous sale, and I've been wanting to try What's Up Beauty for a while. Again, the expense, so I haven't. But they had this bundle, and it was, if I can get these open, these 2 mini duos here, plus the Desert Monsoon palette. So now this I will take out of the box. I was quite surprised at how small this is. I thought it would be bigger. I thought it would be like ABH size. Maybe I'll grab one of my ABH palettes actually and just hold it up. I think that's quite a pretty colour story. So I turn that off. Yeah, there we go, that's a bit better. And I think this little bundle was, I don't think it even came to $20. And I was curious about the brand, and I thought this was pretty, and I was like, yeah, I'll give that a go. Jackie Aina, obviously, because I've used that one recently. It's quite a bit smaller. I was really surprised by that. I just assumed they'd be the same size. So I'm quite glad I didn't pay full price for that, because I think I would have been a bit disappointed if I'd paid full price or close to full price and it had come and it had been that much smaller. Coloured Rain, this is going to be a very long-winded story, and I kind of told it a little bit, but Coloured Rain is no longer, and they had like a big blowout sale. They were selling palettes for £2, £2.50, £3. It was cheap. It was cheap. And By the time I knew I was going to visit my friend, but I didn't have his address. So I said to him, can I have your address because I want to order some stuff? And he was like, yep, sure, here it is. By the time I had, all the palettes that I wanted were gone, which is no surprise because they were selling like hotcakes. Why wouldn't they? They were £2.50. I'm in the Robert Welsh server, which technically isn't Robert Welsh's server anymore, but that's perhaps something for a different video. And I'm quite friendly with a few people on there, and I was the one who posted saying, everyone go and check it out, mad sale going on with Coloured Rain. And a few people took advantage, and then I explained that I'd missed the boat entirely myself because by the time I got my friend's address, everything had gone. It was just like the dregs left. And someone said, well, I've only bought a few things as like stocking fillers for friends. You're the one who shared it with me. If you hadn't shared it, I wouldn't have known about it. So I'm quite happy to send you the Coloured Rain palette, which is the one that I had really, really wanted. And I was like, oh gosh, are you sure? She's like, yeah, not a problem. Like, there's a few bits I'll keep for myself, but yeah, it's only stocking fillers. And as I say, you know, if it hadn't been for you, I wouldn't have known about the sale anyway. Cutting it a little bit short, I think it's Bella is Deadly. You'd have thought I'd have checked her handle by now. But she very kindly packaged up a few bits, not just the Coloured Rain. I was blown away by like what she sent me because she was having a bit of a declutter in general, so she sent me a few other bits. But Coloured Rain, which I've been eyeing for the longest, how pretty is that? I'm so pleased to have my hands on that because I remember watching that back in the day on YouTube and thinking, ooh, I'd love to have that palette. But again, American brand, hard to get hold of. And then when it dropped to £2.50 and I thought, I can get it when I go to my friend's house, I was chomping at the bit, and yeah. But I was so pleased when Bella is Deadly said, don't worry, I've got you. So she also sent me Rose Garden. And that's what Rose Garden looks like. That's a pretty colour story. As part of her declutter, I don't think I've got it all in front of me, but she also sent me, which I was gobsmacked. Well, she kind of mentioned that she was going to, but I think maybe she'd said, oh, I'll send you a couple of Glam Light palettes, and then she sent me the entire cocktail collection. Like, that's insane. And I'm especially pleased with that because I was going to get the Wonka palette, and I don't need to get the Wonka palette because between these two, I'll hold them upside down. But yeah, between these two, I 100% have got the Wonka palette. I can't wait to dip into those. Ooh! Bella is Deadly. Thank you so much. So that was part of so that's the Mimosa palette that came with the cocktail bundle. So that's like a gold highlighter. And then this Juvia's Place highlighter as well. So I'm like blown away by her generosity. And I'm really excited. Maybe I'll do like a little series with the cocktail palettes at some point. But yeah, amazing. Like, thank you so much, honestly. What else is there? Obviously, what I've got on my eyes today, Chamonix Après-Ski. I still got the, yeah. And that's what that looks like on the inside. Beautiful colour story. I think what tipped the scale for me getting this was definitely the fact that I'd be able to get it in dollars and not in euros, which makes it cheaper. I was on the fence because I wasn't too sure about the super light pastel-y shades in here, and I've just done a video with this and I've done some swatches and they're still on my arm. I'm glad I've got it. So it's not that that was on sale or anything, but I did get it for cheaper than I would have done if I'd purchased it either direct or if I'd got it sent to my brother, which is what I normally do for my Nomad Cosmetics orders. So my brother lives in the Netherlands, so being in the EU and Nomad having a warehouse in the EU means I can access Nomad. It just means I don't necessarily get hold of stuff as quick as I would like because I just have to wait till the next time I see my brother. So someone who was having a massive sale, I wasn't banking on this. This was not budgeted for. But Sydney Grace ended up having a 50% off sale. 50%. And I thought to myself, well, I've got to, haven't I? A palette I had been eyeing up was Unbreakable Bond, and this is the deep version. I just think that's a really nice kind of, I mean, it's almost neutral with a pop of blue, but I just think it's really pretty. And I wanted to try a few more shades and a few more products from Sydney Grace. And the other thing that I have been really keen to get my hands on, I've got all this stuff. It's to my detriment I keep everything in their boxes, but I just like everything being in their boxes. And the other thing that I have been eyeing for literally years, maybe 3 or 4 years at this point, I used to watch Mel Thompson all the time. I still watch Mel Thompson. When I get a new palette, kind of for inventory and to refresh my memory of what it looks like on the inside, I take pictures of all the palettes that I get. So last weekend or the weekend before, I was going through and I was taking pictures of all my new palettes, and I just had Mel playing in the background and I had her demoing Tiny Marvels. I've managed to gouge Scarab. I don't know how I've done that. I think I kind of had this momentary lapse in concentration and just shoved my finger in the pan. I've literally wanted this for well, since it was released, because I love Mel Thompson, and I just thought this was like a really cool colour story. Again, it's kind of spicy neutral. It's got that a bit of a colourful hue to it. I just think it's a really, really cute colour story. And to this day, I still want to show support for Mel. She's one of those people who got me enthusiastic about makeup, and I just thought she had a beautiful soul, and her makeup skill was incredible. And I do have the In Mel's Memory bundle. That one I did get direct, so I remember I got that shipped here, and it went on like this grand tour of California. Honestly, I was jealous of this parcel. All over California it went before it finally left and reached me in the UK. And I wasn't expecting this. I don't remember seeing it advertised, and I don't know if it's because Tiny Marvels just comes in one depth. Normally they have normal and then they have the deep version of something. But also inside the packet, I'll just take these, I'll hold these up because it'll be easier to distinguish, because I've just put them in my magnetic palette. But there were these 2 matte singles also included in my parcel, which I hadn't anticipated. One's called Sweet Cakes and one's called Together Forever. So that's handy. I'll take that. Thanks, Sydney Grace. As I say, I don't know if it was a promotion or if it's just something that they do when they send Tiny Marvels out. I've got no idea, but they were also inside the package. The last thing palette-wise, so this is a brand that I kept seeing pop up, and then I started following the brand. So obviously they popped up more. You know, you start following someone, they start popping up more in your feed. And this is CXC Beauty. This is Vault of Olympus, and I went for it in the black packaging. You can also get it in white, but I just think this is gonna look less grubby in general. And that's the colour story inside. So I also, I picked up a palette for Cole as well. I knew I was getting the Nomad Chamonix Après Ski, and I said, well, I don't know if you're interested in CXC Beauty, but I'm going to be placing an order with them. Are you interested? So she got Bloomstruck and I got Vault of Olympus. I nearly got Bloomstruck for myself, but what I decided was I wanted to go for a versatile colour story. So a palette that had a range of colours so I could really test out the formula. You know, it's got a couple of yellows in here, it's got a bit of blue, it's got a bit of purple. I think the only thing it's lacking maybe is green. It's got like this nice greeny, multi-chromey colour in the corner here. It's got brown. I just quite like that you've got your neutral side and you've almost got your really colourful side. I don't know when next I'd be able to get a hold of another CXC palette if I decided I did like the formula. So I wanted to get something that was going to give me a lot of variety, and I found that, I think, in Vault of Olympus. Everything else, like I like the colour stories that CXC Beauty have come out with, but I like them so much I already have them. Whereas this, I probably, yes, I would have all these colours, I'm sure, but not in this arrangement. So this could be something, if I like the formula, I could see myself travelling with, because I can do some colourful looks, I can do some neutral looks. So looking forward to trying that. I know Cole's already tried her Bloomstruck. I haven't asked her yet what she thought, and I kind of don't want to ask her until I've tried it. Just want to see. And then I've got my Sephora haul. Some of these are brands that you can get in the UK. In fact, I'll start with those. So I've got some Sol de Janeiro. I've got the purple one. This one is delightful. In fact, I'm going to open it up now and have a sniff, because why the hell not? It smells so good. And this is like hydrating. It's one of their thicker creams, and I just find that this is really hydrating and it smells delightful. So what's not to love about that? I'm almost out of my concealer. I've been using Tarte religiously for the past God knows how many years, but my last tube of Tarte concealer is almost out, so I've bought the Danessa Myricks, I want to say it's called Lift and Flex Concealer, and I've got this in the shade 14. So I almost blind bought shade 15 or 16, and I'm glad I didn't, because that would have been too dark, but 14 is perfect. I think I like the concealer itself, but I don't like that doe foot. It's very small and it doesn't deposit a lot, which to some people might be beneficial because you can go in and apply slowly. But if you want anywhere near what you might consider a substantial or even just decent amount of concealer, you've got to go in a lot. So I think I like the concealer itself. I'm not sure about the applicator on that one. So again, something I could have picked up here, but I'm actually quite glad that I got it in the States so that I could swatch them and see what they looked like, because I think it recommended getting shade 16, but that's more like your skin tone concealer, I think, whereas this is a bit more brightening under the eye. So I'm glad I did that. I picked up some Tatcha brightening eye cream, and mainly because I had some dollars, and it's dollars I already had, so I almost feel like, I mean obviously I was spending money, it's not like it was monopoly money, but it didn't feel like I was making a dent because it was dollars that I've had for a while. So I picked this up to give it a try. I haven't tried this yet because I'm using a different eye cream at the moment, but when I finish it I'll use that. And then same thing with this, and this is the Universal Blurring Balm Powder, and I've bought this to use with my foundations that aren't the Blurring Balm Powder, basically. So the Blurring Balm Powder itself holds up really well, lasts all day, I love it. Today I'm just wearing, I think it's an Illamasqua foundation I've got on, and my oils do come through more than when I'm wearing Danessa. So I'm hoping that I can use the Universal shade as a primer going forward for days when I'm not using the Danessa, and effectively when I've used up all of my foundations, I'm basically just going to be repurchasing Danessa Blurring Balm Powder in the shade 9.5 because I love it. I think it's the dog's bollocks, to be perfectly honest. Amazing foundation. Nothing beats it for me. The main thing that took me to Sephora was Forever Mood. No candles. And I'm annoyed at myself for not clocking this, because I could have just ordered some of the candles from the Forever Mood website, but by the time I thought about that, it would have been cutting it fine to get it delivered. But I went to Sephora and they had all 4 of the fragrances in store, and I tested them all out, and the ones that I liked were NDA and I Am Her. And lo and behold, the duo in the minis, and it's not mini, is it 10 mils each? Yeah, it's 10 mils each, but I think it's like a nice starter size. Because I can't justify the full size. I mean, I shouldn't have been buying perfume at all because I have a lot, but I've been wanting to try these for ages. And yeah, NDA and I Am Her, to me, are the best two. And that makes sense because they're the two that they've selected to go into this duo. I don't know, do I prefer one of these more than the other? Let me just give them a quick whiff now. I don't want to spray them. I think I Am Her is my favourite. NDA comes second. I wasn't keen on the other two, like, at all. There was one especially, I wonder if it was the yellow one. I can't remember what that one was called. I really didn't like that one at all. But these two are nice. I like them. Last but not least, we were at the till, and I went with my friend who I was visiting and who I was staying with at the time. And just in passing, I saw the birthday gifts, and I commented, "Oh, it sucks because whenever I go to Canada or America, it's never my birthday, so I can never, or it's never my birthday month, so I can never claim my birthday gift." And she was like, "Oh, you can have it." And I was like, "What?" She was like, yeah, like, you can claim it now. Like, tell me which one you want. So I was like, yes. So I picked up this Beauty Insider birthday gift, and it's a Summer Fridays duo. I haven't even opened it yet. I'm sure you open it now. I haven't tried Summer Fridays, but that's the one that stood out at me. Oh, and there's a little sachet. There is a sachet of the Rich Cushion Cream Ultra Plumping Moisturiser. Ooh, I didn't even know that was in there. It's got the Lip Butter Balm in Peach Sugar and the Jet Lag Mask. So how cool is that? They actually let me have my birthday gift. Because they didn't let me when I went to Canada last year. I was in Canada in September. And they didn't let me when I went to San Francisco in 2023. But this time they let me. So thank you to the representative at Sephora who let me claim my birthday gift in February. Yay. That was everything that I acquired on my trip to the USA. Let me know what, out of all, maybe ignore the Sephora haul, between Tiny Marvels, Unbreakable Bond, Vault of Olympus, I'm not including Chamonix, wine, there's Dirty Martini, there's Margarita, and there's Chocolate Martini. So which one of these? Rose Garden and Coloured Rain. I'm clearly going to be working through all of them, but if there's one in particular that you would like to see me play with first out of all of these, drop me a comment down below and let me know, and I'll start putting them in order. April, May into June, however long it's going to take me, I'm going to be working my way through these, and you're going to see me buying way less because I want to catch up on all of these, and there's still a few other palettes from Black Friday and beyond that I haven't dipped into yet. But out of these ones, let me know what you'd like to see me dip into first. I hope you've enjoyed that. As I say, not a regular occurrence, me acquiring this much makeup in one go, but it's not like I go to, well, I say I don't go to America very often. Well, I was in Canada last year. I mean, it's North America. But I do like going to the States, and I want to check out other places. Like, it'd be cool to go to New Orleans, for example. New Orleans for Mardi Gras would be awesome. It's not something that I do regularly, and it's not something I'm going to be making a habit of because, you know, not richy rich. But I had some money saved up, and some of these, especially the Sydney Grace at 50% off, was just, and the Colourpop gel liners for $2 each, they were not to be missed. I had to take advantage. As always, thank you for taking the time to watch. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I also hope to see you again in a video in the not too distant future. Take care. Bye.